our second speech. And by the way, today we're doing speech marathon, which means we will not have table topic section. We will have 3 speeches in total. For the lifetime long, for me until now, I've been always trying to figure out one thing. The question always on my mind, I always want to get it answered. Is how could I be awesome one day? And that's I really want to learn. And lucky today, our second speaker is going to talk about being awesome. And the objective for this speech is getting comfortable with visual aid. He will be using appropriate visual aids to help his speech. I do hope that I can see what awesome is and how to be awesome. Let's introduce our second speaker, Kanwar.
Being awesome. As I walked through the hallway last Thursday morning, I saw 2 colleagues of mine talking to each other. Person A, let's call him Mr. Mediocre. He goes up to this person and he says, "Hey man, how's it going?" Person B responds saying, "Awesome, how about you?" To that person A, Mr. Mediocre, gives a frowned look and he says, "Not too bad," and he hurried away. As I saw that thing happening in front of me, and when Mr. Mediocre left, I rushed towards person B, who I call Mr. Awesome. Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, have you been caught saying "not too bad" way too often? When someone comes up to you and he asks you this question, "How are you?" or "How's it going?" This line that's very popular. And most of the times people say "not too bad," and they ask the other person about himself. Can't we replace the word "not too bad" with "awesome," or something that's more random and more spontaneous? Of course we can. And so I asked this person, how did he do it? So what I'm going to be sharing here with you today will let you explore how to be awesome. And I hope by the end of this speech, you will learn the main ideas of being awesome and apply them in your own lives. I'm sure once you start applying them, the results that you will experience will astound you beyond your wildest imaginations. Okay, let's begin. Are you ready?
Yes!
Of course. Are you ready? Say, "Yes, I'm ready."
Yes,
I'm ready.
Yes, you are. Step number 1 is responsibility. Start taking responsibility for everything that happens in your life. Now the word here, everything, is coming at you. And it's the one that I highlighted for a reason. Most of the times, especially for me as I'm a student, and I'm also doing internship at IBM, a lot of things happen. And it can be bad traffic, it can be bad weather, it can be coming late to the meeting, or it can be missing an appointment, or think about this, missing a speech and telling the same day that I cannot give the speech. Now the idea here is be responsible for whatever you do and stop putting excuses. Say goodbye to excuses once and for all. Most of the times, and this was me when I started in IBM, in the beginning 10 a.m. meetings used to be really bad for me. I cannot make at 10 a.m. to IBM. And if I was late, I would show up 15 to 20 minutes late. And I would just pop in and I would just make an excuse, just quick excuse. And I would say, okay, the bus was late or the weather was bad because of snow. You can have a very quick excuse. But I never said, "Oh, I'm sorry, this would not happen again." That's something that never came from my mouth. And over time, I learned how to make that better. So step 1 is responsibility. We have step number 2, which is attitude. Develop an attitude of finishing rather than starting. So finishing is important, starting is important too, but the idea is to finish it. A lot of us would resonate with this idea. Now, I was this person again. There's a lot of projects that happen in IBM, and these projects are like hackathons and other projects that you can do by the side of your work. And most of the times I would just jump in, and I would have friends of mine, and we would just jump in and start the project. And 2 weeks down the road, we haven't done anything. And the person who's organizing the contest, he would come back to me and say, do you need any help? Well, what's the progress? And then me and the other members in my team, we would just make an excuse, sorry, we have too much work, we cannot commit enough time to this project, and we would back up. So the attitude when we started doing those projects was completely wrong. And that is something that really is detrimental for your own progress, not just because we're students here, but even after graduation when you go in real life work. Albert Einstein said it very properly when he said, weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. So have the right attitude throughout the work you're doing. Step number 3, discipline. Now discipline is perhaps the most important of all. Having the self-discipline by giving whatever it requires to give you 100% all the time, whether you like it or not. Now that is the key, whether you like it or not. A lot of people do a lot of things in life, and this goes out to people who have really gone out of their comfort zone and actually established something in life. And they keep on doing that. They just don't reach at that level and stop right there. They keep on pushing themselves, they keep on doing the same things time and again. That is where the discipline comes in. Even if you're at that level and you don't like it, but you still do it, that's the self-discipline. And Jim Rohn, his famous personal development coach, he said, we must all suffer one of the two things, either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret or disappointment for not having done it. So these 3 steps, we have responsibility, we have attitude, and we have discipline. In other words, being awesome means being rad. A lot. And this year I participated in this 5K run called Color Me Rad. And that idea resonated me a lot in that run as well. Now rad is a slang for people who don't know here. It's a slang for awesome or cool. And a lot of people, a lot of youngsters you'll find saying, yo bro, you look so rad. And not just in terms of physical appearance, but also in the things that you do in life. Now, all this information that I'm giving out to you, awesome, don't look at the physical level, go down to the deeper level, and that's what I'm sharing with you here. The goals, the ideas that I'm sharing, responsibility, attitude, and discipline, those are the main deeper goals that can really help you become awesome in your own lives. Now, having said that, next time someone asks you, how are you doing? Your response should be, I'm awesome, and I'm too busy being rad. And once you start using these ideas and goals, you'll start to see the results and the success. You'll start to taste that success. And you'll become like this. And then you'll be, I have learned to be awesome. Thank you.